Hey,
Hi.
so we're live, by the way, guys.
Nice.
Hi.
Hello.
Did the apocalypse just join us?
Yes, I did.
There you are. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. This is Georgia and Eric over here. A-
There's some connection issues.
Oh no.
Hello.
Oh, hey, we can hear you now.
That's better.
Yep, it is. I'm just gonna let now Julian and Sujan talk over. I'm just gonna sit back and play some games while you guys talk. Hope you guys don't mind.
Okay. We'll watch you.
Okay, I guess we can start, shall we?
I'm good with that.
All right, there's a question that's for both of you, is how did you get into acting?
Eric, or I'm gonna go first. I've been acting since the beginning of time. Honestly, it was just sort of always something I loved to do. So the minute my parents allowed me to do it professionally, that happened. Kind of was the story. At 16, I got my first professional job, but I've been with theaters and, you know, anything I could possibly do that involved being, you know, creative up until that point. So it was sort of from the beginning there as what I love to do is something. And then I moved here to LA to continue to do that, but all sort of connected to positive messages for kids. My thing was, as an actor, you have so much attention given to you, which can be interesting. And if it's used for good, then things change and amazing things happen. So I moved from Melbourne to LA because that's where the actors have the most influence. Eric?
Well, I don't know how to follow that up. I definitely I got into it for the fun. The idea to travel around the world, meet people, do action stuff, do things you can't do in your normal life without breaking the rules. I think that's one of the most like attractive things for me as far as being an actor and the type of projects I like to do. Even being involved with something like Payday and the opportunity to work with like Giancarlo Esposito, Ron Perlman, even Damien and I have become really good friends in Georgia, and you realize that there's a really classy group of people behind, you know, this brand and some of the jobs you get involved in. So that's all kind of what got me involved in wanting to be in that world of acting and that journey and experience all those people. And it always changes, and it's always new. Every job is a new relationship with somebody or some new location, so it prevents you from getting stale and stagnant.
I also want to mention one of the main reasons why we really went for Georgia to join us today is because we didn't notice that she does a lot of charity stuff already. So when I went to check on her Twitter and I saw this charity stuff, I was actually really surprised, and it really made me want to invite you to the event.
Ah.
So.
Like, bad if you didn't, because you thought I was heartless and didn't do any good. I'd be like, no.
It's funny because on the game you know you got all these tattoos and you know kill police and stuff, and then you see the actress is, you know, it's very nice and does all these good things.
It is truly the funniest thing, like the difference between me and Sydney. I mean, I don't think you could, like, one of my characters, Vanille, in Final Fantasy is basically exactly like me. And I don't think you can create a character less like me,
Exact
basically,
opposite.
than Sydney. And so when I go and record, like literally the last recording session I did, I was dressed in like professional, like business attire, because I was going to have all these meetings all day about some virtual reality, like charity stuff that we're working on. So it was all very serious meetings. And the guy even was like, "You don't look much like Sydney." And I was like, no, I'm not like Sydney. But then when we get in there, I call it my primal screen therapy. It enables me to be absolutely lovely to everybody that I meet for the rest of my life because I let it all out when I'm being Sydney.
Can you talk a little bit about what you do for these charities and how can we help?
Absolutely. And I should say, by the way, that the man sitting next to me, Eric, is incredibly good at sharing good news and good things.
No,
and
roll with it. I'm curious too. I was very surprised myself when I met Georgia, and I couldn't believe how much she was involved in all these charities. You know, we all like to be involved, and we all say we are, but very few people actually put their time, energy, and money into it. And she's a full house on that. And so I'm excited to hear it all.
Thank you. I didn't want to be like, Eric, amazing too.
I'm here with them, wanting to hear you.
Okay, well, I'll try and do this quickly because I don't want to take over the
that's what you're
time.
here for. No, it's just cute.
Okay, so I own my own nonprofit. That's the first thing. So I do Arts Bridging the Gap, which does arts education and edu experiences, so public art, and brings together kids from underserved communities and their families to do work that will help them sort of spark a future for themselves and really see themselves as the amazing, incredible, wonderful people that they are, and give them the resources to go to college and be a success and do all of those sort of things. So that's my charity. But amongst that, we do a lot of, like, I basically spend every second of my life trying to work out how to solve poverty and, world peace one day. But we'll do that next week. But at the moment, it really is, I'm doing a swim in October. I was just telling Eric, because we're both swimmers, where I'm swimming 24,900 meters, which is 15 and a half miles, because that's the poverty line for a 4-person family in America. So I want to encourage people to bust through numbers, no matter how hard it seems. So I do a lot of awareness around that. I work with...
Wait. I think we swam past that number. How far are you swimming?
24,900 meters. So it's probably going to take about 9 hours nonstop.
24,000. 24,000. I can't even say the number. Hold on.
24,900.
24,900.
Yes.
It's going to take you about 9 hours.
Yes.
Hello. Now that's a superhero.
Well, I really... Thank you, Eric. I wanted to do something that showed people why so many people stop because they say, oh, that's too hard, or I've never done that before, or I'm not sure I can. And everything I do, I work with hundreds and hundreds of amazing children all the time, because I work with about 4 or 5 different nonprofits, the alopecia nonprofits because of that area, and I'll get to that in a second. But constantly I'm telling them that they're amazing and beyond incredible, and they can do anything they want. And so if I don't do that in my day, if I don't show them that this is hard for me and I'm going to do it regardless of whether I know I can, I think it's really important. So my goal is to raise the same amount, $24,900 in that swim. So I'm doing that, but I work as a volunteer at LA Mission, the homeless support system down on Skid Row. So I work there every week in the kitchen and have an incredible chance to work with them. We just did our first Girls Make VR workshop last week, and we're going to pursue that to work with underserved girls, getting them into coding and gaming for VR and empowering them that way. I'm the public face of alopecia, so that's a hair loss condition that I have. It's an immune disorder. So I travel around a lot. I'm going to New York soon, and was in Vegas last month to speak to kids about really being proud to be who you are and using what makes you different to make a difference. So I speak a lot around that, and I'm always posting bold pictures of myself. So
that was
LA, which is the Children's Hospital. And I do that, and then yeah, so I mean that's a quick sort of snippet. I just literally bought socialimpacthackathon.com before we got online, because I'm going to create a hackathon to solve social issues. So that's one of my next chapters, and I'm working with LA City College on a couple of programs to try and get an empathy project, and doing some stuff with Harvard to bring arts to regular instruction in LA, and we're doing Hollywood to lessen the crime rate. So this is the kind of stuff that I think about.
So if you haven't realized that Georgia doesn't work on a 24-hour day.
I would love a 60-hour day.
She's invented the 48-hour day.
I'm trying here. Believe me, I could do with that. If you guys know how to, if there's like a coder out there that wants to create that day for me, I will buy it.
I'm looking at her resume, and she only got halfway through that. So there's more to come.
Believe me, I only wanted to tell you about the things that are actually happening, not the things in my head. Because if I tell you what I'm planning to do, that's a whole other day. But anyway, so that's the answer to your question.
I actually wanted to stop really quick and mention that there was just now a $2,000 donation
Awesome.
from Majara. That's really awesome. And by the way, these donations
with our partner.
exactly, they're matched by a partner, the Republic of Tea. So that's 4,000. That's crazy.
That is so amazing. Thank you. So what was his name?
Majara.
Najar?
Majara Jasaba. I'm trying.
Majara Jasaba, you are our hero.
And these first donations going to get the full boat package.
Yeah, what can we send him?
Everything we have.
Good plan.
He gets everything we have and then some. You're on the permanent mailing list, my friend.
Yeah, so if you're listening out there, make sure that he sends, he can send, however you guys are doing it, his info, so that we can send him one of everything.
Absolutely.
And he will be on our VIP gift email list for sure. Love that. Thank you.
And let him know that if you're out there listening, you're on my VIP for hugs list, virtual hugs. We're gonna. Amazing.
All right. Let's get back to the questions.
Yeah.
I was
We're
gonna.
out of it. And we just gifted everything we had to this guy. So
We'll do more.
yeah,
We're here.
No, we brought more supplies. We're just gonna make sure he gets one of everything. So that's great.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
A question for Eric, he's so excited right now. He's literally jumping up and down. The cutest.
Actually, I have a question for both. Do you have a gaming background? And if yes, tell us about your gaming adventures and the games that you've played.
Was that for both of us, or?
Yes, that was for both.
Okay, I'm going to take a photo of him while he's talking, because he did one of me.
I don't know if giving my gaming background gives away my age, but I definitely grew up playing Space Invaders, Asteroids, Galaxy, and then some Pac-Man, and then I think Miss Pac-Man was like the final stage before I took a long lapse and games reinvented themselves with the games that they have now. Even I think I was playing the Mattel. Do you guys remember the Mattel little football games with the dots? And
Yes,
you
I
could
do.
play. You guys, yeah. Is there anybody out there listening remember the old little Mattel football games that you could play with these little dots that would kind of cancel each other out and you could
Yeah.
score a touchdown?
That's
That was the first. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's support of having a big brother. I got most of his things, so I got to experience that.
I mean, that was the beginning of the video game, and funny enough, we're getting closer to that where it's back in our hands again, and being practical. They were ahead of their time, just the graphics hadn't caught up. So that was my background on how I first got involved in video games. What about you?
Smile, Eric, first. Yeah, there you I'm just taking snaps to promote you guys. For me, Lemmings was where it ended. That was my everything. I played so much Lemmings back in the day. I hate to think how many Lemmings I killed in the process. Loved Lemmings. Really loved Wolfenstein. Poltensee. Used to play it all the time when I was younger. And PGA Golf, just for something different. And because my brothers and I loved sports stuff. So we got to do that. We weren't allowed consoles. That was a no in our family. But we got to play PC games. So we did that. I got a little bit obsessed with Tetris and Brickle. those were two things that went a little bit bonkers for me, to the point where I would dream about Tetris. Like, in my dream, I'd be like, left, 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 right, down, down, down. So I get a little bit like that with things. So once I got to a point where, like, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to make something of myself in life, when I was like 10. Then I was like, oh, maybe gaming's not smart, because I have an obsessive personality. So I only rediscovered it actually when Twitch came to be. Way to go, Twitch. High five in the air. Because I love the possibility of fundraising. So I've done 2 fundraising streams myself, and that's when I got back into playing.
This is where we need Damien Portier to show up. This guy is quite the gamer himself.
He's stuck in a meeting, by the way. We're mad at him on the inside, but love him on the other sides.
Could you imagine playing with Damien and he's screaming his lines in your ear? It's kind of intimidating.
I can imagine.
He's got the best voices I've heard in a video game. One, I don't know if you guys have. Did you ever hear the Christmas song he does?
Oh yes.
His delivery, that song and his delivery and the goddamn broken drill is one of my favorite.
Really?
Like, I just play that to, like, when I'm working out. Yeah.
It's like gets you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. And the goddamn broken drill! Like, you know.
Which I hate. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to go on this.
a question for you, Eric. I know you've been directing your very own movies as well. Any future project or project that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, you know, there are a couple projects I'm developing, but one in particular I'm developing with a kid that I grew up with, who I've known forever, so it's close to my heart. I'm excited to get that out. Other than that, you know, I'm looking for something. You know, until we could turn these video games into movies, which would be the dream come true, because the characters in them are so colorful and they're so imaginative. I'm looking for something, that right project, that right action bit. I'd like to do some more action and stuff. But yeah, other than that, it's developing things that I can't quite share yet because they're not developed. And then it's looking for those projects that ignite me. Like Payday ignites me. We do so much live action trailers, and I get a chance to work with, you know, all these actors and do action sequences. And we got to work with the guy who did Hardcore Henry, you know, Shelto, and the director. Those opportunities, all connected to a video game. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Talking about that, I was going to ask Eric, how was your experience with the Payday 2 web series?
I love it all. I'd like them to do more with us. I think the Payday gang is ready to really stir it up and pull off some stuff. But you know, the web series was a real fun run and gun. You shoot several days in a row, you get a chance to get into the character, be the character. Some of the guys, we're getting under each other's skin, but that plays well because we're under a lot of pressure because, you know, the reality, you can sometimes lose reality playing the video game as far as, you know, the violence that's involved and the action that seems though there are no consequences. But I think with the live action stuff and the web series, you keep it human. You know, at the end of the day, we are humans that are playing the video game. And the opportunity to have the live action and the web series so that you realize these characters that we're modeling for the video game have hearts, are good people, are involved with, you know, cross-branding like this charity we're doing with you guys, this Action for Hunger. I think that's wonderful. That helps keep this video game grounded. I hope keeps it authentic. I think it keeps our Payday community as overall contributors as much as they enjoy the game. And all this live action stuff just gives it a real heartbeat. And to be able to have that heartbeat and have a video game combined, I think we got a winner. And that's why we're Payday!
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing that you guys will have to go soon.
Yeah, I know. We don't have much time left.
I mean, I'm okay. How would?
Do you guys have someone else lined up?
Let me
the-
see. I think Faded was he's managing
no.
most of the stuff, so that's why I'm kind
Our next, no, we have about an hour, but we're not going to take up.
15.
Yeah, I don't mind. Let's. Are we giving away some stuff? Like, where are we? Who's out there? Who's listening right now? Do they have any questions that they want to ask that we can?
Sure.
You guys could tell us. Anybody want to talk about the Olympics? I'm so excited watching all these athletes from all over the country. I mean, Payday and this charity really represents people all over the world. And at a time like during the Olympics, have you seen the refugee athletes?
So awesome.
That's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, that's pretty freaking cool.
And my hope is that they get all the attention after the Olympics that they deserve and that are getting now. Like, to me, I'm like, that's really nice that you guys love that they're at the Olympics, but I hope you're going to talk about them afterwards. What's the chat saying? Somebody thinks it's you.
They want you to do Sydney line is something I've been seeing.
Okay. What do they want? Did they request anything in particular?
No, just the Sydney line.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to keep it without swear words, which is basically impossible.
No, just do it. Do it
Yeah,
for
you
the
can
kids.
do it. For the kids.
Do it for the kids.
I don't know if any of you are on the Final Fantasy stream that I did recently, but I did some Sydney lines, and then I actually did Vanille lines in the Sydney voice. It was very disturbing to a number of people, just so you know. Because I don't know if any of you know, but because I know the Payday and the Final Fantasy fans don't cross over, but to give you guys a reference, like Vanille spends her whole time going, oh, this is so fun. I'm having the best time ever. So
Wait. What was the first part of that?
You're trouble. It might be this. Yeah. I spent 6 months of my life doing that, and it would be so fun because, like, I'd be running and in the scene, not in the booth, and they would have me go, okay, do a running moment. We're going to need a sound on, like, 6 sounds. So I'd be like, and they'd be like, okay, good, yes.
I've got the best seat in the house right now.
So to follow that up, Sydney, well, just so you all know, and I'm not going to repeat it now because it's not the line I'm most proud of, but it's my favorite line, is where she tells Cloaker to sit on certain things, and it made me laugh so much when it came across my script, and I was like, oh, I'm about to say that, okay, but let me think. She might say something along the lines of, okay, I'm gonna swear. No, I'm gonna use Australian words instead. We're gonna keep it as Australian as we can. Let's see how many Aussie. I'm gonna make this a super Australian Sydney line. Struth, you wankers! They're coming down the bloody walls! Get out of here, you tossers! How was that?
Damn.
Really
That's
good.
amazing.
Yeah, that wasn't full on Sydney, in that when I do it standing up, I usually am waving my hands around doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but it's a Saturday.
Well, I say, mate, she rubbed off on me. Hi, yeah. I feel a little bit Cindy out here. Am I alone, or everybody else listening out there wants to know? A mighty fine lady here.
New Dallas confirmed character.
There you go, guys.
No, that's not happening.
Oh.
Wow.
Character?
Oh, I'll tell you, it's a lovely day here.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, bloody ripper. My favorite thing is the songs that she does, though. It makes me laugh. Like, her songs are very funny. I think that's the best part of Payday, honestly. Is this, well, not my songs, but everybody's songs. Like, the fact that Chains has this, like, we all those are the moments that make me laugh so much because they're such human moments where you catch people singing to themselves. I think it's funny.
I'm not in any songs, and I'm very upset about it.
I think we need an Eric. What's a Dallas song that we could do for you?
I don't know. It would have to be sad.
A sad Dallas song?
Oh.
Any recommendations on the chat? It's so hard to see the chat, but if you have any recommendations.
Yeah, what could Dallas sing?
Dallas constantly just sounds so suave on all the trailers. Like I really enjoy watching the trailers with Eric.
Thank you.
Yeah, he needs to, like, he's totally jiving right now. This is amazing. It's like, start spreading the news.
Start spreading the news. Yeah, I gotta do Sinatra interpretation.
There you go.
Good luck. Who wants to follow that? That's like someone trying to follow Rocky or Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. Like, you don't do a remake Raging Bull after Robert De Niro.
No, but they didn't get that note on Ghostbusters, so.
That I haven't seen yet.
It's okay. There's other things to see in life.
So,
Any other questions?
okay. I was just a small request for Eric. Someone in the chat asked him to say America fuck yeah, because his character is really American.
I could say that. You're gonna have Georgia plug her ears.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm a lady.
America! Fuck yeah!
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just got like 5 dogs were barking when they.
They literally.
And mind you, that's like 2 miles away.
So I got this question for both of you guys. If you played Payday 2, how would you react to playing as your own character, and how do you feel about it?
Eric?
For me, I think I take real joy in just beating the shit out of them. You know, it'd be a free way to just kick myself in the ass. I think so.
You just let yourself.
Yeah. Like
be
if
taken.
I could watch it from a distance. Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think there'd be something very therapeutic about it. We should all kick our own ass every now and then, right? I mean, in life, just to wake up, take a reality check, and see what it feels like to get hit. Yeah, I think it'd be quite eventful and cathartic. Sydney?
So here's where I look, everybody on the chat, I just want you to know that I appreciate you so much, and you're amazing and wonderful, and I love this game with all my heart because of you, the incredible community, and the incredible, because I work with Starbreeze, so I love the people. Some of you might know that I'm a little anti-violence in my own little way. Obviously, with all the work I do with kids, I absolutely get that violence exists. It's something, and there's so many incredible avenues in games for releasing and all that sort of stuff. But personally, it's all about a personal thing. I don't judge anybody. In fact, I love some people that own 1 million guns very much. It's not a thing. But for me, I can't hold a gun. There's something about it for me that I spend my whole life trying to spend love, and the minute that gets in my hand, I feel really, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I've done video games where I am violent and played them, even like in Final Fantasy when like I'm playing and she has to like whack someone over the head. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I do it. So people just tease me so much because I'll get into it, like the adrenaline will take me, and then I'm like, yeah, I got you. You're gonna, I'm sorry. It's gonna hurt you. So I'm not very good at the whole that thing. So I'm not sure how I'd go, especially with Sydney being the way she is. I would spend my whole time apologizing for Sydney. I'd be like, Sydney's a really nice person. I know she's just very hurt individual. So yeah, that would happen. I hope that nobody, well, I don't believe in the word hope, so I shouldn't say that. I trust that everybody gets it.
The whole time she's saying that she's got her hand wrapped around my mouth. And she won't let me. And I'm trying to go, where's Damien to help me get out of this girl's grasp right now? You guys have no idea.
Actually, very violent. So yeah, I don't know if you want to talk to me anymore after that information, but there you go.
Well, what I think, and I think this is what makes Georgia so special, is, rather than really pass judgment, she's found a way to involve this Payday community, take this big growing population that, like I said, I think are a really good group of people. Every event I go to, all these E3, DreamHack, every time we throw an event, or even the webisodes we put out, I meet really good people. It's not like people that
They're the best. They're my favorite.
envision these unfriendly, unsocial gamers because all they do is play games. I find some really genuine, sweet people that you can talk to that have the same likes and dislikes I do, and it's special to then be able to take this community and attach it to charities where we give back as well to balance the violence that we enjoy and sometimes regret. I think there's enjoyment, I think there's regret. One comes with the other, but in our enjoyment, if we can make these contributions for a bigger cause, I think we're doing pretty good, and I think that's an awesome goal.
Well said.
All right, and I have another question. What was your initial reaction to the Payday 2 assignment? That was for both. It came up because Georgia was talking about the game being so different from what she usually does.
Sorry, I was twitching and tweeting. What was the question?
It was, what was your initial reaction to the Payday 2 assignment? So basically, when they told you about giving you the opportunity to work with Payday 2.
This is for you. It's for you.
Oh, was that for me?
That's for both of you.
I was ecstatic. I didn't realize how big the community was. I had known the brand, I had seen it, but it's rare that you get the opportunity to step in and take it over. But then when they brought in Damien and a few of the other guys, I was like, wow, this feels right. Like, you could put together any cast in any of these video games out there, and I'd put our money on the Payday guys. Derek, Damien, myself, we're quite a bunch. Dradek, right?
You're all amazing.
Like you could put us in an MMA fight in a ring, and I gotta believe we're gonna come out on top. I mean, Damien Poirier is like 6'4", 6'5". Like, if they get past him, then I could get something.
Before he goes too far, I might take a photo of his bicep right now.
Yeah.
Because Damien ain't the only one that could take someone down, excuse me, with the biceps.
I'm always talking with the other guys that we should have this kind of like video game off. Some kind of where we get to compete against the other guys who are in the other video games. Create some kind of interesting like challenge or games. Because this Payday group's really special. These guys are real deal guys. These guys all have bumps and bruises. And when I got asked to do it and I got to meet them, and the idea of coming into a brand that's already been established is always a big risk. But as a group, we figured we could ride the wave out and then try to take Payday to that next level. And I think we're doing it. And so I'm excited. So that's been my experience and everything that's involved with it.
Yeah, and that's why I feel so lucky that like I get to come in when these guys are all formed. And Eric and I knew each other previous to Payday, so it was sort of a fun thing of being like, hi, you, guess we're on the same thing now. That's kind of cool. But to meet all the other guys and see how incredible they are has been awesome. But my reaction was kind of funny because it was like Almir and I were literally hanging out in Bo's office. Like, we were just like chilling, talking about stuff and work, no doubt, because we're always like trying to condense work meetings. And he goes, hey, how'd you feel about being in Payday? I was like, what? Me? He goes, yeah, I want to create an Australian character. What could we call her? And I was like, well, I'm from Melbourne. Melbourne doesn't really have the ring as a name, but Sydney, I was like, I hate to say this as a Melburnian, but Sydney's kind of a good girl name. So we just threw around for a bit, and he's like, I'm serious, would you do this? And I was like, yeah, I mean, sure. And he goes, it was so great. He stops and looks at me like really seriously and goes, can you swear? Because he'd never heard me swear before. And he's like, you know the game, right? Can you do this? Like, seriously? And even like Hampus, who I think is joining you guys at some point, when we were like, when he came down, when we just started to get in it and they were like talking about live action trailers and stuff, he's like, I just want to check with you. Like, are you really okay with doing this? Because they all know like what I'm like. He's like, there's a lot, like, are you sure you're okay? And I was like, yeah, I think I can do this. Like, it's and then when we had the first recording session and they were all like, oh my God, I had no idea you said those words. So it was I was like, well, I've never said them before, but now we can say I have. But yeah, it was a very funny, like, Almir wasn't sure I could say the words. But, you know, I think for me it's been really, I honestly had a moment where I was like, everything I do is about positive messages and believing in magic and, you know, all of the positive stuff. And how do I feel about being in a game that's a bank robbing, heisting, killing people? I mean, that's a question. But then I was like, you know what? This is part of life. And this is, like, I trust that the incredible fans that I've met with every other game I've been in will be there for Payday. And when I'm sharing my stories about what I'm doing, it will resonate with them too. They're just...
And you got a $2,000 donation
exactly.
being on here tonight. So to me, that just says it all.
Yeah, it's what... Oh, JJ's coughing up something. Sorry, there's a golden retriever coughing up something over there. He does that occasionally.
Oh, he's in agreement.
He totally agrees. But I have to say, it's been a really a rewarding experience to be in the game and now see, like, on my Twitter and everything, how much the community does respond to all the doing good and all the incredible stuff. And I think sometimes, like Eric was saying, people get judged by what games they play. And it's like, they're amazing human beings. Just because they like a certain game, that doesn't define what they're like. Yeah. Like, I don't think all the people that like K-pop are walking around with pigtails and knee-high socks.
Some of them are. Some of them are.
Definitely.
I hope so.
Yeah, I like to think of them. But anyway, point is that I had a moment where I was like, is this what I'm doing? And I was like, yeah, because these guys are just as amazing as my Final Fantasy fans, and I can't wait to sort of get to know them. And it's been like every day on my Twitter, I'm like, there's another amazing one. So I'm so glad I made that decision.
That's really nice. There's a question that is outside of the game or voice acting. It's for both of you. If you weren't an actor, what would you be doing?
Oh, Eric.
Well, it's tough because I'm watching the Olympics right now, and I want to swim against Michael Phelps. I want to run against you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Eric's an amazing swimmer, by the way.
Yeah. So no, I would love to have competed in those events against those guys. But in all seriousness, I think it would have to do with some type of public service in regards to, like, being a fireman, to some type of, you know, undercover secret agent trying to stop the bad guys. I love the idea of stopping the bad guys.
That's ironic.
Well, it is. I mean, ideally, the bad guys, the Payday guys, are taking out the white.
Yeah, no, you guys are actually taking out the bad guys.
You know,
we are. Sorry, I should say.
But I would say it would have to do with some type of human service for the betterment of either, like, children or people that need assistance. I like to help. I like to help and do things, and then involve that with, like, an action element, whether it be, you know, in the field, undercover, something to that degree. I think I could do that. I always think that would be something I could do. You know, if you could send me to go, you know, undercover and stop child slavery or something.
Oh my God, that'd be so great.
Yeah, I think that turns me on. Other than that, I get to play an actor, and every now and then get those opportunities to live that fantasy out and send that message. So I think it would be some type of public service, believe it or not. How about you?
I think they're excited about you being in the Olympics. A couple of people are writing that. Eric in the Olympics. I'll vote for it. Vote 1 for Eric in the Olympics.
It's true. You know, you're watching these guys, and there's, like, a guy who's 37. There's a guy who's 41. And I'm trying to run through all the sports. Like, okay, at my age, like, what could I in 4 years actually take an attempt at?
Have you seen Eddie the Eagle?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, you have to see that movie. Go see that movie now that you're inspired, because that's about a little kid that knew he was going to the Olympics from the beginning, and he just tried every sport until he found one that he could do.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's a true story. He got there.
It might be an interesting movie. Maybe I'm sure there is that athlete. Maybe it's even a refugee or somebody that gets a chance to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know.
Later in life.
Way later in life, yeah. And it's by a fluke, but then he surprises everybody.
He wins.
Ta-da!
Played by Eric Etebari. Just saying. What I would be doing if I wasn't an actor is what I do when I'm not being an actor. Currently, the end goal for me is Secretary General of the UN. That's, if I could put a pin in that now, that would be a dream and a goal of mine, to be a woman in that post and really add some empathy to, I mean, they're incredible. Anyone that takes that role is incredible. But that, or create a division within the UN that focuses on children and do that work. But yeah, basically be spending every second of my life trying to change strategically and mindfully and the solutions of the things that aren't so fair in the world right now. So.
Of course, to add on to my question, if I was going to do something else, it would be do the public service, but being disguised as a rock star on a stage in front of 100,000 people playing music.
Definitely do.
So that would be my undercover element to that job.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, surprised. I'm kind of like Bono, but better. I think we might have to say goodbye.
Well, we got the 3.
Oh,
Yep.
yep. Perfect. We made
Nice.
It's 6,000 just while you were here.
Whoa, what? 6? What?
Yeah, because our sponsors at Action Against Hunger are going to double it, so that's 6,000.
Wow.
So we got $6,000, guys. I'm just saying you should bring this guy around more often.
Yeah, I think you should do it. And then we don't even have a visual. I suggest next time you get a visual so you can see what I see.
Well, I think I'm going to try and do video later. We're going to make that happen.
Make sure we get a list of these donators. I think we definitely, the Payday gang and all of us want to make sure we give a special thanks and acknowledgement to them. We appreciate all your guys' love and support, taking the time to listen to us babble. Look forward to seeing you or seeing me in the Olympics in 4 years. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what it'll be yet.
I'm all there. What about pole vault?
Pole vault.
Strange.
Actually, funny, I wanted to pole vault in college, but I ended up
Really?
playing volleyball. Yeah.
Strange random fact. My best friend, all through childhood, won the gold medal for the pole vault at the Beijing Olympics and broke the Olympic record. So if you need a coach,
I got a little plug. I'm on a new pilot that's coming out in September. I think it's September 6th. It's called The Startup. If anybody remembers Martin Freeman from Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit and stuff like that, it's going to be a really good show. It's on Crackle, and I play a Russian. Yes, I play a Russian and I play a big bad Russian gangster. It's really fun. It's really edgy. When you ask me what I enjoy about acting and stuff like that, these are one of those roles where I got to totally embody the character, be method, act against Martin Freeman, who's at the top of his game. Work with a director that I had worked with like 4 years ago that calls me up out of the blue. So that whole journey that we were talking about as being an actor, you never know where it's going to come or where you're going to go or what you're going to play, but it's so much fun. And it was one of those roles I had so much fun being the bad guy, FYI. Check it out. I think you guys will enjoy it. Dallas, listen, if Donald Trump wins for president, I'll give it a shot. I swear to God, I'll give it a shot.
Dallas for president. Your Twitter before we go.
At Eric Etebari.
And mine's at Georgia Van Cuylenburg.
We're going to bring up presidency. I actually think I would vote for a candidate that never spent any time worrying about ruining the reputation of another candidate. Like, that would be so, admirable.
Yeah, and how about this as well? I'm thinking of running for some sort of public office and not taking a single cent. So if you want to donate, it goes towards the causes I'm trying to and the issues I'm trying to solve, but my campaign takes no money. So how about we run together? You push forward the fact that we're not going to be mean to anybody.
Okay.
Maltesers? That's hysterical. I love that we're talking about Maltesers. I don't understand why. Should we say goodbye, good night, and farewell?
Yeah.
Now that you guys are
Thanks
saving.
a lot for stopping by. It means a lot to us, and we are really glad to had you guys here, and we'll look forward for your next few. I'm trying to remember the name. I'm bad with English. I'm sorry.
It's all good. But, I'll be back on a little bit later, too, tomorrow, I think. So. I'm coming back
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Perfect. Okay, guys, lots of love. Keep playing. Raise lots of money. I can't wait to see later how much you've raised.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Let's jump to